Vikas Chopra, Grassroots Community Wellbeing, supporters of your party. That's why we're here today. And I wanted to discuss something very important with you. And I've got around about 10 questions. First of all, can I ask you to very, very briefly introduce yourself, etc., please?
Yeah, so I'm Roxy Blackburn, and I am a member of your party, Wolverhampton.
Okay, all right. And can you introduce yourself and your role within the grassroots activity because that's what we're talking about today. The grassroots activity that we're proposing, or what we all, the group, are proposing, that was originally your idea.
Yeah, so I proposed a board game group that would be meeting fortnightly. Very strong believer in, by the community, for the community. And so when we got chatting, it was something that I'd really like to launch, and here we are. Okay, excellent.
And do you want to tell us where it is and the date, etc., and people can listen when they do listen in on the interview, because I want to broadcast it, so they know where to come and who to speak to, etc.
Yeah, so we'll be meeting, our first session is on the 20th of January, which is a Tuesday at 7 p.m. We'll be meeting at Namaste Restaurant on the Dudley Road in Wolverhampton, and the plan is for this to be a fortnightly event. Okay,
excellent, brilliant. And on top of that, we'll have a monthly event for meetings and issues, etc. as well. We also discussed at some point, if anybody wants to come in and talk and they have any local issues, they can pop in and talk and participate, etc. as well. What's the main idea behind launching this activity? Because I know you said for the people, that you want to do something for the people, for the community, and what's the main idea behind it? And I know you've been involved. You mentioned to me before that you've been involved in this kind of activity in Birmingham and in other areas as well. Is that correct? So what's the main idea for you, and what do you think? What's your thinking behind it?
My main idea is to get people connected. Comes a meeting point in your local community where you can meet up with people, make friends, get more of a support network if you don't have that. So that's where I got mine from, was through my board game community. I attended a meeting, and then through that I met friends and we would meet up regularly. So then when I moved, I wanted to create that again, which is how I created it in Birmingham. There were a group of 5 of us that would meet, and it's now 30-40 people every week. And I've now moved to Wolverhampton, and I want to replicate that. I think since the pandemic, there's been, that desire for connection with people again. But not everyone knows how to do that. Or they can find some, going to groups quite awkward, whereas having board games it gives people something to talk about without necessarily, intensely sharing everything about their lives initially. It's through repetition and building those relationships that you strengthen those networks. So it's almost like the board games are that starting point. Come along, have some fun, and make friends along the way, and then through there develop a support network. Excellent.
And it's not just one type of board game activity. There's how many have you got? Do you want to?
So my personal collection is 150 games.
Wow.
So I won't be bringing all of them, don't worry. But we will bring, we've got stuff from beginners, even just a simple deck of playing cards, for say blackjack, or if people want to play poker, or we've got smaller card games, or we've got things if people are already into board games. So we're hoping to bring a selection to appeal to everyone, and also we'll take recommendations as well. So if there was something that you've played before that you might want to play, let us know and we can look at getting that, because again, it's for the people and it's what the people want.
Brilliant. And what excites you, if I was to ask you, what excites you most about the launch, as the launch approaches for yourself? Have you been talking to other people that you know in the area, or have you been, what excites you most?
For me, it's slowly seeing it pick up traction. So I posted to a couple of like the Wolverhampton community pages the flyer that we made, you know, and people are already liking it and sharing it and that expressing an interest. So there's clearly a desire for it. I think one of the most nerve-wracking things when you start something like this is no one's ever going to turn up, and you know, it's just going to be me, you, and Matt. Going together, which would be fine, you know, but we want it to become more than that. So it's nice to see that people are already expressing an interest, and I look forward to seeing how it grows.
I was thinking, what are you going to do if the place is rammed out? Because you never know, do you? With these, you don't know sometimes, do you? Because I think it's a niche, and I think it's what the community needs. I do believe, because I've always been a grassroots worker, I do believe that communities need to come together, and this is an excellent way to get people together to talk about stuff and anything and everything, you know, and to get a good connection. You know, those who may be seeking work, there might be people there that are looking for people for work, or there might be some potential business growth opportunities for people as well. So we don't know who we're going to meet, do we really? That's the reality of it all. Okay, what do you hope participants will gain? If I was to ask you that, what do you hope participants will gain from it?
For me, it's connection and belonging. I've always been a firm believer that I grew up and I spent a lot of it feeling alone, and I never want anyone else to feel like that. So I want it to be a place where people can come and connect and build those connections and feel more like a community. I think with what's gone on recently, there's been fractures in the community, with sort of a lot of some of the other political stuff and that we see going on, and I just want to bring back a sense of, no, this is our community and we're going to come together and we're going to connect. So whilst yes, we are aligned with politics, I also want it for the people. You know, I want them to feel like this is a place they can come. There'll be a listening ear if that's what they need. They can start to make friends, that sort of thing, and obviously let the group make it what they want it to be as well, you know. So, you know, if it's actually this week I just want to sit and have a chat, then that's fine as well.
You did say that the first group that you went to, there was 5 in there, and now there's 40, isn't there? So it's a lot of people there, isn't it, as well? I think, and the room, I believe, the room can hold 40, can't it? You know, I know it can hold 40. What does success look like for this grassroots activity for you?
For me personally, it would be being able to reach someone and then beginning to feel connected. You know, I want to make a meaningful impact on someone's life, and if that means I only reach 10 people rather than 100, then so be it. I think it's about restoring connection for me that I think is really important, and I think from there that's when it'll grow. So I think success for me will change over time, because again, we're at the start, but overall that's what I want it to look like. I want it to be a nice cultivated group where we support each other, we connect with each other. Obviously not everyone's going to get along, you know, there are differences, but it can be a place where the community can come together and feel like they belong.
As you said, it's just perseverance as well, isn't it? So if the activities out there, it might be for the first couple of weeks that you might not get very many, but you might. You don't know. So it's the more you talk about it, the more you're there. Once people start to realise it's there for the community, then, you know, and the manager at the owner at Namaste is very he's welcoming, isn't he, as well? So
yeah,
you know, so.
Absolutely. And I think word of mouth goes a long way with stuff like that, doesn't it? Because people hear, oh, I went to this thing the other night and I really enjoyed this, you should come along. You know, and I've had that in Birmingham. So one of my other events that I run through a specific game, you know, I have people that have travelled to that because they've heard that we were so welcoming. So similar to that, I think.
Brilliant. And who do you want to encourage to come?
Anyone and everyone. I'm a firm believer that there is a game for everyone. You know, there's nothing too simple, there's nothing too complex. I want it to be for anyone and everyone, no matter your background, your identity, your work. That doesn't matter. This is, if you want to be part of this community, you're part of this community.
Brilliant. Yeah, excellent. And we want to develop it into a mass, we've been saying, a mass movement, don't we? To get community members together to do things to help and raise their views on what's going on in Wolverhampton as well, don't we? So we want to get this off the ground, get people involved, get them talking. Excellent. All right. Any message you'd like to share with people who are thinking about taking part? Any specific message have you got in mind? You know, I know you says for anybody and everybody. Have you got any message for anybody? Or, you know, when you joined this group activity prior, why?
So for me, it was looking for new people to play board games with. I was in a new area and I didn't know anyone, and that's quite daunting. And I think it's quite hard to make friends as an adult. You know, it'll generally be your work colleagues, or say if you're into a sport, that kind of thing. So for me, that's board games. That's my way to meet people. And my message would just be, come and give it a go. Like I said, there's lots of games, you know, lots of people will know about Monopoly and Ludo or Sorry or Uno, deck of cards, you know, and we will find something for everyone. So please just come along, even if you just want to dip your toe in and see what it's all about.
I'm thinking, well, the common goal shouldn't be winning, but the common goal should be connection. Is that correct? Yeah. Would you agree with that? Because I have sort of in the past my background, sports, etc., and I know that it's not about winning all the time. You know, I've been a sportsman all my life, competitive. You know, it's about getting the connection. Even if you lose, you're always learning something. It's not about winning and losing, but gaining connections and networks and growing this community out as the grassroots community. Is there a donation charge that you are requiring or asking for? Is a last question, by the way, just so people turn up on you. Yeah,
that's fine. I've added a suggested donation, and I awfully cannot remember what it was. I want to say it was £4. Suggested donation of £4. It is on the flyer.
Okay.
And like I said, it is just a suggestion, and that will go back into the community project. You know, this isn't to pay myself, you know, it's not about that. It's about reinvesting in our community. So is it, we're buying more board games? Is there, you know...
What could come of this could be, well, you could be doing other different projects in the community, like taking maybe a certain group of people that are vulnerable away for a day or something like that. So that's where you're not trying to get rich out of it. Oh, we know that, don't we? So no, and you're not going to out of £4 per year. No. But, excellent. Thank you very much for speaking to me. I will put this video out so people get to know what's going on, and I am sure that there's going to be quite a few people interested. I know that from our group, people have been asking, you know, about the activity as well. We've seen that, haven't we, already? And just one more thing. I know people are saying, well, supporters of your party, you're supporters of... I think we're not... well, you're not trying to get some people involved in politics or anything like that, because a lot of people, they don't like that, do they, sometimes? So I think the goal for us as a group is to just get people together to just talk. Is that correct? There's no pressure. No one's going to be saying, well, can you join this, or you must join this. There's no pressure on anything like that. So they can come and participate and just join the movement of the community. Is that what you're thinking yourself, or?
Absolutely. You know, if people want to get involved in the Your Party stuff that we're doing, then absolutely, I'm happy to talk about that too. But this isn't about that. This is, I guess, it's putting in those principles and values that I hold that made me align with Your Party into action. You know, so being that grassroots movement, you know, I want, like I said, for the people, by the people, which is what Your Party stands for. And it's about being in the heart of our communities. And this is just my demonstration of those values to me in setting this up. It's not a recruitment drive at all.
No.
It's just about building connections in our community.
Excellent, excellent. Roxy, I want to thank you very much for your time. And on the 20th at...
Correct. 7 p.m.
7 p.m. at Namaste. Okay, we'll see you there. Thank you very much anyway, and have a lovely day, Roxy.
And you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.